Hot Topics with City Manager Erik Tungate. Leadership in Oak Park.
So obviously there's a lot of new things happening in Oak Park. As we said at the State of the City earlier this summer, we are breaking a lot of new ground, and that very much is because of yourself, our city manager, and our city council, and the visions that you have for Oak Park, which I think leads into how you were recently awarded the Public Service Executive Official of the Year by the American Society for Public Administration. So congratulations to that, first and foremost.
Thank you.
But if you could also kind of talk about just how you have come to this point to be acknowledged by such an organization. Obviously, you have done a lot for the city of Oak Park, and that is with the support of residents and the city council, but also because of your management skills, your vision, and how that has brought you here. And if you could talk about where you're also hoping that will bring Oak Park in the future.
Thank you, and I really appreciate that. I always go back to a couple of things, and this is something I've said since I've been here for the last decade. You see so many executive leaders in public service, but also in private business, who approach problem situations like, let's be honest, Oak Park, when, back in 2011 and 2012 had some budgetary issues, and their first reaction is to just cut the fat and, bring it down and figure it out. Now, frugality is always something that I'm looking forward to finding. But at the same time, for the first time in the city's history, during the same time that we were looking at every department trying to find cost savings, we also set the course for a plan to grow the tax base of the city. And 10 years later now, you're seeing projects like the one on 8 Mile, the Opus development, the new Forgotten Harvest headquarters, the 9 on 9 Mile, the 11 Mile commercial district taking off with 2 new breweries, etc., the new Kroger on Greenfield, the Planet Fitness that went in Parkwoods Plaza, etc. And you're seeing these things happening, and all of those things, and then new residents and new housing and things, are growing the city's tax base. And we're getting back to where we were and getting, quite honestly, on more stable ground. But I come to it with that, set of priorities. You can't cut your way to prosperity. It doesn't work that way. Yes, you have to be creative and find creative financial solutions, but you do have to grow as well. And that's what we've proven here in this city. And sometimes, in order to do that, you have to take projects on. You have to look for new ways to generate revenue and figure it out. And we've really demonstrated that. And then, I was born with this relentless gene. My parents, I was born and raised in a very, very small town, long way from here. And my parents had 4 boys, and one thing that they passed on to all 4 of us was just to never give up. And one thing I have never done in my life is given up. If we had doubters that we could turn this city around, the mayor and I joke all the time about this, but if we had doubters back in 2011 and 12 that we could turn it around, I don't blame them for being doubters, because it looked like an uphill battle, but that just served as motivation for me. And it always has. And it always will, quite honestly. The more you doubt us, the more that I'm going to prove to you that we're going to make this happen. And I think when you combine those various things and being blessed with a just excellent staff, yourself included, here at the city, it's a pretty uncommon, magical situation. I don't know many governments who are operating with those dynamics all going at the same time. But that's what we have here in Oak Park. And, we're human, so we don't always agree on everything that gets proposed or everybody else's idea. But one thing we do agree on is that we are going to approach everything from a progressive point of view. And I don't mean that in a partisan way, I mean progressive point of view, meaning we're going to undertake some projects. We're going to look at things from a project management perspective and see if we can get it done. And if we can't, we can't. But if there's a will to get it done, then there's a way. And that's how we approach everything, and that has so far worked out to our advantage across the board.
Well, I would agree that we have a wonderful team here in Oak Park, and I am happy to be a part of the team, and I see a lot of wonderful things happening here.